Hello friends, today we are going to begin the new lesson, the fundamental unit of life. In class 8, you learn about the basics of cells. You are familiar with the definition of cell organelles, etc. Okay, here we are going to learn in detail about cell. You know the definition of cell. Cells are the basic unit of life. In broader sense, the cells are the structural and functional unit of life. See, there are two types of organisms, unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. See, this is based on the number of cells by which their body is made up of. And every function in the body of an organism is performed by specialized cells or product of cells. In our body, we can see blood cells, liver cells. Okay, see, all these are actually specialized cells. Our next topic is cell theory. See, cell theory was put forward by two famous scientists, Schleiden and Schwann. See, there are two postulates in cell theory. The first postulate is all organisms are composed of one or more cell. And the second postulate is the cell is the basic unit of all living things. Okay, then another scientist, Rudolf Virchow, expanded this cell theory. He added one more postulate, that means all cells are produced by the division of a pre-existing cell. That means a new cell is formed from an existing cell. Okay. Next, we are going to learn the general organization of a cell. See, the general organization of a cell is given here. See, most of the cell has a cell wall. Inner to cell wall, you can see a cell membrane. Okay, here you can see cell wall. See, the outermost part is cell wall. Then inner to the cell wall, you can see a cell membrane. Then the whole content within the cell membrane, and that is called protoplasm. And protoplasm has two compartments, see, cytoplasm and nucleus. And the cytoplasm contains many specialized structures and they are called cell organelles. Okay, now we are going to learn in detail about all these features. Okay, first, cell wall. See, cell wall is the outermost part in most of the cell. And you know that cell wall is absent in animal cell. See, here a plant cell is given. You can see the outermost cell wall. Okay. So, in plant cell, the outermost part is cell wall. But in animal cell, the cell wall is absent. Okay. If we observe the structure of a cell wall, you can see it has three layers. There is a primary wall and there is a secondary wall, and in between two primary walls you can see a layer that is known as middle lamella. Okay, so a primary wall and secondary wall and a middle lamella. Then there is interconnection between two cells. Here you can see there is an interconnection between two cells, and this is called plasmodesmata. Okay, then the function of cell wall, it gives rigidity and support to the cell. Okay, Now move to the next topic, that is cell membrane or plasma membrane. See, it is the outermost part in animal cells, okay, or in other cells it is found inner to the cell wall, okay. Then this cell membrane is composed of lipids, protein and carbohydrate. See, this is the structure of a cell membrane, okay. So cell membrane has three components: lipid, protein and carbohydrate, okay. See, this is the structure of a lipid molecule. A lipid molecule has a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. In plasma membrane, the lipids are seen as two layers. Here you can see an upper layer and lower layer. So this is termed as lipid bilayer, okay. So we have already learned, see, a lipid has two parts, a tail and head. Of these, the head is hydrophilic and tail is hydrophobic. Then proteins are arranged inside or outside the lipid bilayer. The proteins that are found inside the lipid bilayer are called integral proteins, and the proteins that are found outside the lipid bilayer are called peripheral protein. Then carbohydrates are attached to this lipid bilayer, okay. Now we have to learn the functions of plasma membrane. See, the main function of plasma membrane is transport of materials across the cell, and there are many methods of transport. The major methods of transports are diffusion, osmosis, passive transport and active transport. Let us learn one by one. The first one is diffusion. See, diffusion is the movement of molecules from its higher concentration to lower concentration region, and it is a passive process. That means it do not require energy, okay. Then the second one is osmosis. I think you are familiar with all these, okay. So osmosis, see, osmosis is the movement of water molecules from its higher concentration to lower concentration region through a semi-permeable membrane, okay. So plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane. Through this semi-permeable membrane, there occurs the movement of water towards the inner side and towards the outer side. If water move towards the inner side of a cell, then it is termed as endosmosis. If it is towards the outer side, then it is known as exosmosis, okay. Then other methods, see, active transport and passive transport. See, in active transport, transport of materials across the cell membrane occurs with the expenditure of energy. That means energy is required for that process, okay. But in the case of passive transport, no energy is